Hey everybody, sorry I couldn't be with you today, but I hope that you learn a lot and you are very on task and you have a good time and have a good weekend, and I will see you on Monday. But I wanted to give you a couple announcements before I jumped into the math that you're supposed to learn today, starting with what it is that you're going to do. So you're going to watch this video, obviously, and you're going to take the notes that go with this video. That means that you should get out your classwork notebook, flip to the back because we're going to do some Cornell notes with today's stuff. Once you're done watching this video and you're done taking the notes that go with it, you're going to complete the solving equations worksheet that the sub is going to pass out to you. And so you're going to do that. You can do it with a partner, but you cannot move around the room, just the partner you're sitting next to. And then if you guys finish, go ahead and bring it up to the front, check in with him, and check your answers with his answer key. If you have everything correct, you can turn it in to the first, second, or third hour bin, and then start on your homework that's due Monday. Now this homework comes from Chapter 3. See that? It's a big 3. Chapter 3, problems 5 through 8. So you can add that to your homework notebook, and I'll put it up again. It should be up on the board after you're done with this video. All right. One more last announcement is that on Monday when I get back, we are going to have our team test. So we'll spend the first 15 or 20 minutes reviewing what you learned today, and then we're going to take that team test. So make sure that you're ready, and that means that your individual test is coming up next Wednesday or Thursday. So make sure over the weekend that you're getting all of your late homework done. All right, let's start with some math. So grab your classwork notebooks. If we need to take a minute to pause, go ahead and pause the video so everybody can get it out. And take out your classwork notebooks, open them to the back, and we're going to take a couple notes. Alright, so hopefully you paused. Everybody has their notebooks out. Your objective for today is we're going to use those solving equation skills that you guys have, the ones we've been working on, and we're going to determine how many solutions an equation has. So all of the ones we've been doing so far just have one solution, and we're going to talk about what may be different sometimes. So we're going to start with an example, and if at any point you need our sub to pause the video so you can catch up, just let him know to pause. I'm going to try and talk in between writing so that you guys have time to make sure that you have everything written down, but if you need a pause, just yell it out. He'll stop it and wait for you to catch up. Okay? So we're going to start with just an example. So we're going to solve this equation, -3 times parentheses x minus 4 equals 2x minus 8. We're going to solve this equation all together and talk about the solutions that we have. So you guys should be able to tell that with this equation, we have to distribute that -3. So when we distribute -3, we get -3x plus 12 equals 2x minus 8, okay? So now I have an equation that has x on both sides. I'm going to draw that line down the middle, and I want to get all of my x's on one side of the equation. So you can see that I rewrote this by adding 3x to both sides here. I took this 3x, I added it to both sides, and what I was left with was 12 equals 5x minus 8. From there, since all of my x's are on the right side of that equal sign, I want to get all of my numbers over to the other side. So in order to get this 8, this -8 over to the other side of the equal sign, I have to add 8 to both sides. Okay, that's going to give me an equation that says 20 equals 5x. And then my last step in solving this equation is to divide both sides by 5. So I do that, and I get 4 equals x, or x equals 4. Okay, this looks normal. This is what we've been seeing all of this chapter so far, is we get x equaling a number, okay? And so when that happens, when I can solve and I don't lose my variable, I can solve for x and get a value, that means that I have exactly one solution to this equation. There's one answer, and that answer in this case is 4. So I just write that answer as x equals 4. Now might be a minute where you need to pause the video so you can write that down. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to solve the equation 2x plus 3 equals 2x plus 7. We're going to solve that. Okay, so what you're going to try and do here is you're going to try and get all of your variables on one side. Something weird is going to happen. So if I wanted to get all of my variables on one side, say I want to move this 2x to the other side, I would subtract 2x from both sides. But wait, what happens here when I subtract 2x from both sides? All I have left is 3 equals 7, and that's super weird, right? I don't have any x's I can solve for, so I just put 3 question marks there, like, what does that even mean? So the question that I'm going to ask you is, what value of x makes 3 equal 7? Like, what could I do to make 3 equal 7? Well, nothing. There's nothing I can do that makes 3 equal to 7. And so the essential question that I added over here on the left side for this example is, when are there no solutions? So in this problem, my answer would just be there are no solutions. There's nothing I can do that makes 3 equal to 7. Okay, so if all of your x's go away when you're trying to solve an equation, and the equation then is not true, it's not true because 3 does not equal 7, you say that your answer is no solutions. Okay, so that's your answer. You may need to take a minute to pause again. All right, our last example is going to be to solve this equation. So far, we know that we can have an equation that has one solution, and we can have an equation that has no solutions, but what other option do we have? So in this equation, you can tell that the first thing that I have to do is distribute that negative sign. And so when I distribute that negative, inside the parentheses, that negative 3 becomes positive, and that negative 2x becomes positive. So I'm left with an equation that says 2x plus 3 equals 3 plus 2x. Okay, so again, now I'm going to try and get all of my variables onto one side, and again, I subtract 2x from both sides, but this time I'm left with something that says 3 equals 3. And again, what does that mean? 3 equals 3. So I put my 3 question marks, and the question I'm going to ask you is, what value of x makes 3 equals 3? What value of x would make that true? Well, 3 does equal 3. It doesn't matter what I plug in for x, okay? That is always true. 3 always equals 3. So it doesn't matter what I plug in for x, that equation is going to come out equal on both sides, okay? And so the answer here is anything. I could plug in any x value, and that equation would be true. So the essential question that I'm adding this time is, when do I get infinite solutions? So remember, the word infinity means that we go on forever and ever and ever. There's no limit here to the amount of solutions that are true. So if x could be anything, okay, then I would say that I have infinite solutions. So here's going to be your little summary for this section. When your x's go away and the equation is true, like 3 equals 3, that's true, 3 and 3 are the same, your answer is infinite solutions, okay, or any number, any solution. Okay, infinite solutions, that's what you're going to write. All right, so we have 3 options, and you might want to include this in your summary. Your 3 options for number of solutions are 1, or no solutions, or infinite solutions. And maybe in your summary also include, how can you tell? How can you tell when you have 1 solution? How can you tell when you have no solutions? And how can you tell when you have infinite solutions? Okay, so write yourself a little summary. Go ahead and pause the video to write a summary. And then just a reminder of what you should be doing next. You're going to get passed out a worksheet to you, so you and your partner are going to work on this worksheet together and help each other spot when you have infinite solutions or no solutions. That's going to be important for you to be able to see. And if you finish that, go check your answers, turn it in either to Mr. Fine or in the box that's at the front table. And then work on your homework from either your Chromebook, or you can borrow a book from the shelf on the wall. Okay, but your homework is from Chapter 3, number 5 through 8, and that's due September 28th. Don't forget about your team test on Monday, and I will see you then. Everybody have a great weekend.